Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the President of Toastmasters International, Distinguished Toastmaster, Chris Ford.
G'day. Did I get it right? G'day. G'day. I didn't think for a moment that having traveled all the way here from Canada to be with you, trying as hard as I could to utter two simple words, nay, not even two, like it's a consonant and an apostrophe and die. And I thought I could get it right. One of your past district governors took me aside earlier today. He said, I'd like to give you some feedback on your presentation this morning. I thought, right, I'm going to get it now. Whether it's about governance, whether it's about how I presented Elizabeth Wilson this morning as the chair, the host district chair for the 2010 convention. No, it was about the way I pronounce G'day. Well, listen, folks. Get over it. I'm a Canadian, eh? And at least Robin and Donna over here would understand what I'm saying. Madam District Governor, fellow Toastmasters of District 70, District 69, District 60, Carole Campeau, ma chère, qui vient de District 61. Fellow Toastmasters who might be here visiting from elsewhere, friends of Toastmasters, Toastmasters junkies. All right, that pretty well accounts for all of you. I want you to work with me for a few minutes. I want you to take a trip down memory lane with me. Cast your minds back, deep into the recesses of your memory. And I want you to go back 8, 10 maybe it's only 7 hours ago. Can you all go back that far with me? 7 or 8 or 9 hours ago? You can get there. Because that's when you got up this morning, right? Most of you got up this morning. And I want to know how many of you absolutely ran to the window and you threw the window open and you said, "Good morning, world!" How many did that? Remember that core value I mentioned earlier of integrity? Yeah, Phil, you really did that, did you? Yeah. And how many of you dragged your old, tired, maybe somewhat worn out body out of bed and you dragged yourself to the bathroom, or you stumbled to the bathroom, or you fell to the bathroom, or you rolled to the bathroom, but somehow you got to the bathroom and you looked yourself in the mirror, right? You eventually looked yourself in the mirror. And my question to you is, did you see the reflection of perfection? Now, I know enough about the Toastmasters of District 70 not to ask directly, did you see the reflection of perfection? Because guys like Phil are going to put up their hand. You ask your friends if you could see the reflection of perfection in the mirror, see what kind of response you get. No, you see, when we look in the mirror in the morning, most of us see a bit of a blur. We see an image of ourselves. But sometimes as we look in the mirror and we look at the image gazing back at us, we get a little bit worried about what we're seeing. Now, sure, if we have really seen the image and the reflection of perfection looking back at us, then I would ask you, did you have your glasses on? If you had your glasses on, have you had your eyes checked lately? Or is what you're seeing in the mirror a true reflection of the imperfect being that you are and that I am? None of us is ever truly satisfied with ourselves. A new wrinkle has crept in under the eyes. A new gray hair has popped out somewhere. The body's proportions have changed overnight. Bits and pieces of anatomy that used to be here are there. I don't want to go too far with this, I really don't. And I sure don't want to make eye contact with anyone. Lest I be accused, though, of only speaking to people of my own age group, I would also want to speak to the 25-year-olds and the 30-year-olds in the crowd. You're both here, aren't you? And the 25 or the almost 30-year-old looks in the mirror and says, "Oh my God, a gray hair, what am I going to do?" Well, or, the one who's 29, "I'm going to turn 30 next week. How can this be? 30, that's old." Remember when my mother turned 30, I cried. I was about 5 at the time. I cried because she had become an old lady at 30. Go figure. I'm almost twice that right now. I'm not old. I'm young. But I don't see the reflection of perfection when I look in the mirror. We're all a work in progress. We're all shaping ourselves, aren't we? Whether it's shaping ourselves physically, whether it's shaping ourselves mentally or emotionally or psychologically, we're shaping ourselves, especially in this organization, Toastmasters International. We are here to shape ourselves. How many of you came to your Toastmasters meeting, very first Toastmasters meeting, knocked on the door, got ushered into the meeting, as your body was trying to go the other way, but somehow you got into that meeting, and which one of you said, "Hi, I'd like to be your club president. Hi, I'm here, my name's Mary, and I'd like to be the next division governor. Hi, I'd like to be the district governor of District 70. No, we don't start off with that concept of leadership and service. We start off focused and centered on self, developing our own skills and our own abilities. And so when we look in the mirror and we see the less than perfect image coming back at us, we're not yet seeing the reflection of perfection. Understand that you're on a path, you're on a journey, you've got a place to go that may eventually get you to where you want to go, but you've got to keep at it. So it's like when you finally get over what you've looked at in the mirror, you go downstairs, you have your coffee or you have your tea. I've learned some new terminology while I've been here in Australia. Things like skinny flat white. Yeah, I thought that would be a piece of fish or something to eat. No, apparently it's a cup of coffee. But so you have your skinny flat white, you have your piece of toast. Eventually you're going to get in your car, right? And if you're going off to the workplace, you're going to volunteer somewhere, maybe you're going to your Toastmasters Club meeting, how are you going to get there? You're fighting the traffic down Parramatta Road. Or you're taking the Hume Highway down to Canberra because that's where you live. Or you're on one of these M roads you got around Sydney, the M3, M4, M7. You end up in Woolloomooloo. I mean, go figure. We don't have a Woolloomooloo in Canada, but you got one here. And some twit cuts you off. Somebody doesn't yield the right of way to you. Somebody annoys you. And so there you are, the individual focused on shaping yourself out in the big world, and the world is not perfect. You all know that? The world is not a perfect place. But you, ladies and gentlemen, and I, we're trying to make a difference in that world. It doesn't matter that somebody cuts you off on the highway. That's irrelevant. But it does matter that people in this world want what you and I have. The ability to shape ourselves through this wonderful organization, Toastmasters International, and then to take what we know and export it outside of the club. I know too many Toastmasters that spend their time developing their skills and keep them inside the Toastmasters organization. And ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, that is insufficient. When you pick up a skill in this organization, whether it's the ability to listen to somebody else, to feed back, provide coaching, do some mentoring, give the toast at your brother's wedding, even if you don't like the woman he's marrying. These are the things that we can do. Met a Toastmaster last night. I'm going to mention her name because I'm so impressed with what she's doing. Lou Morrison. She's sitting right over here. Lou is taking her skills in Toastmasters, and where does she want to take these skills? To help the homeless. In whatever way she can, to make a difference in the lives of the homeless, whether they're going to sign up to a Toastmasters club, whether they're going to get enrolled in Speechcraft, whether one of them becomes the world champion of public speaking or not, we don't know. But the fact that Lou is going to take what she's learned from Toastmasters and export it, that's the power. That's the power of this organization. Ladies and gentlemen, here in District 70, you've been doing that for over 50 years, since that first club was formed down in the Gong. Right there? See? All you got to do is get on the F6, and you end up down in, not Wollongong, which is what I was calling it 2 days ago, not even Wollongong, but the Gong. I went down to the Gong and said goodbye to everybody. It's great. Yeah, and it was people like Hilton and Marianne over here in Wollongong, the Gong, who are using their skills to shape the world of the men and women down in the Gong. That's what I mean about taking these skills that we learn after we have shaped ourselves to use them to make a difference in the world. You've been doing that for over 50 years, just over 50 years in District 70. And along the way, encouraging people to respect one another, to take responsibility for actions, to take responsibility seriously. And yeah, reap the personal rewards, but reward others for what they've done to contribute to a better world. You're onto something here in District 70. We're onto something in this worldwide organization. 92 countries now, 240,000 members, speaking multiple languages. The odd Canuck shows up speaking Canadian, eh? But we know that we have got something extremely valuable. And our job, our challenge, in my view, is to take what we know and to use it to make a difference in our worlds. Because, ladies and gentlemen, in Toastmasters International, we are shaping ourselves, shaping our world. Madam District Governor.